Hi there, let's look at shutter speed, the concept of shutter speed in the context of a camera. Uh, the shutter speed is specifically the length of time the camera shutter stays open, and it controls the amount of light that hits the sensor and affects both the image brightness and the portrayal of motion. And we're going to see the concept of shutter speed or the live demo of the shutter speed right here. As again, I'm using Nikon D5500 and I have put the camera on the shutter speed mode. So there is this usually a mark S on the cameras, and I have aligned it with the dot here, which means it's in the shutter priority mode, which effectively means that I can control shutter speed directly with the help of a button here. Okay, now the simple concept. As you can see, there is a black mark here on the screen, and if I change the if I move this button here, it changes the number here, which effectively means that your shutter speed is changing. When it is at 1, it means the camera stays open for 1 second. It is the shutter speed is calculated in terms of seconds. So if I change it, if I increase it, which means that the shutter remains open for this much amount of time, and here it is 4 seconds. If you increase it more, and you can increase it maybe up to 30, which means that it remains open up to 30 seconds. On the other side of it, let's go back to 1. You can also decrease the shutter speed. You can make it open for a fraction of a second, and as you can see, once I move the lever here, I can change it to almost 1004 1 by 4000 of a second. It is a very powerful concept and you should pay attention to it. And let's see what happens. What happens to the image when we change the shutter speed. Okay, we're going to 1. Just pay attention here. Okay, the fan there in the motion, the fan blades are moving, and we are going to capture the motion of the fan blades here. At shutter speed 1, let us click the camera. It remained open for a while, for 1 second, and as you can see, as you can observe, you cannot see the the fans blades at this moment of time. If you decrease the shutter speed, oh, I've increased it, I'm going in the other way. If I decrease the shutter speed, let's say about 1000th of a second, and I click the camera here again, you can see that the fan blades are now visible, which means that the fan blades are moving very fast and the shutter closed so fast that it was able to capture the movement of the blades. I can decrease it to 1 by 40th by 4000, a factor of 4000, and once I click it, you can see it clearly captures the moving fan blades here. Now if I increase the shutter speed to, let's say, 10 seconds, and I click it here, the camera remains open, the shutters remains open for a long time. It captures all the light coming from that main subject, which means that it will not be able to capture the blade specifically. It will be capturing the motion. Now because shutter is open for a really long time, you can observe that there's a lot of brightness in the photo, and the light has fallen on the sensor for a really long time. So this is a long exposure. So if you increase it to further 30th, probably you won't see anything. It will be just white. Now for 30 seconds, this shutter is going to remain open, and all the light is right now falling onto the sensor, and the sensor is trying to make sense of all the light falling on it. After 30 seconds, the shutter will close. It will capture all the light here because the shutter remains open for a really long time. What you're going to see is, you guys is right, a lot of light within the frame, and probably you won't be able to see the subject, and this is the proof. So if you can see, This is at shutter speed of, which is a very low shutter speed. Shutter remained open for 30 seconds, shutter remained open for 10 seconds, shutter remained open for a very short amount of time, and here the shutter remained open for 1 second. So once you're doing a sports photography, once you're doing trying to capture something in motion, you have to keep the shutter speed low so that it can capture that motion. And as long as the shutter speed matches the frequency of the motion, probably it'll click a very crisp picture for you. So it's a play and observe model, and every time you are capturing some motion in sports, or if you're capturing a car, you will have to take a couple of photographs to figure out what is the right shutter speed for you. Otherwise, your images are going to be blurry. I hope this is useful. I'll meet you in the next video. Have a good day.